It's time to go inside TMZ for all the latest from Hollywood. Joining us as always is Dax Holt. Good morning to you, Dax.
Good morning. How you doing today?
Oh, good, good. All right, let's first talk about Charlie Sheen. All right, so apparently he goes on some sort of a bender. Big surprise. Doesn't show up for work, and then he blames it on an ear infection. Is this really the truth?
Well, let me start over. So basically, he spent the weekend in Vegas. They had the big old Avian Awards, which are the adult video awards, and he was hanging out with porn stars at the Palms Casino. One of the porn stars that was there in his room that night was Bombshell McGee, which is Jesse James' mistress. And the next thing you know, he was able to make it back out earlier in the week to make it to work on time. He was on set, completely professional. You'd never know anything wrong, or like his weekend was so crazy.
Yeah.
Well, then yesterday, he did not show up to work. He was blaming it on an ear infection. Well, a lot of skeptics out there going, oh no, he had a crazy weekend. It's just catching up with him. But in fact, their doctors over at Warner Brothers did check him out, and he did have an ear infection.
Oh.
And they have these like on-set doctors to make sure that there actually is a problem so that insurance can step in.
Unbelievable. All right, so whirlwind for Charlie Sheen as usual. Let's shift gears now and talk about Kelsey Grammer. I mean, they are just in the midst, he and his soon-to-be ex, in this middle of this kind of awful divorce situation. Well, now Camille is apparently insinuating that Kelsey likes to cross-dress.
Yeah, she went on the Howard Stern show yesterday, and she was sitting there talking to Howard, and next thing you know, the play La Cage aux Folles that he was in gets brought up, and she goes, you know what, that is a perfect play for him. And everyone's like, why? Well, he's not gay, right? And they're like, she's like, no. Well, then does he like to cross-dress? And she just kind of laughed.
Oh,
and then it kind of progressed on from that. And she said he's got a little, like little hips and all this kind of stuff. And I got to tell you, Kelsey's people are not happy with her at all. They're going through this massive divorce right now, having to split up about $100 million, and she just keeps running her mouth off. So I don't think she's making any more friends.
No, I don't think so. Not with that statement anyway. All right, now we want to end on kind of a sad story. Ted Williams, just to remind everybody, he was the man, homeless man with a golden voice who sort of had overnight success and fame come his way. Now we hear he's headed to rehab, huh?
Yeah, he filmed a Dr. Phil yesterday, and then after decided, hey, I need to check myself into rehab for drugs and alcohol dependency. And so, you know, I guess he's been doing, you know, on alcohol pretty much every single day, even though he claims sobriety. So I don't know how this is going to affect his new job opportunities out there, but we wish him well. Obviously, if he has an issue or a problem, you know, we say go get that solved before you start to take on other things in your life.
Absolutely. Figure it all out, and hopefully he can still enjoy some of those opportunities later. Dax, thanks so much for joining us, and you can catch TMZ right here on Fox Providence. It starts at 7 p.m. Or for more information on any of the stories, just head to foxprovidence.com.